So some of the signs and symptoms commonly seen for preschoolers include having difficulty attending for 5 to 10 minutes on a non-screen task by age 5, excessive climbing on furniture and jumping when the behavior might not be expected or even appropriate, jumping from toy to toy in the playroom or having a hard time sticking with one toy for very long, and some children have difficulty playing with toys at all, preferring more physical forms of play. So a child who has a hard time waiting or is impatient, indicating those challenges with those inhibitory executive functioning skills that are coming online. And if your child interrupts you frequently when you're on the phone or talking with other adults, a child who moves so quickly that they might run into other peers or furniture because they're not paying attention to the environment around them, or a child who acts without thinking in ways that can be unsafe, such as reaching for a hot chicken nugget and popping it into their mouth even after you've told them that it's going to be hot and they need to wait, or a child who's so excited to be at the zoo that they unbuckle their seatbelt and they try to leap out of the car before you can even get to them. So a child who has trouble following instructions or following daily routines. Think back to when Dr. Martin discussed variability as the norm rather than the exception. A child who makes noises while working on their homework or doing other tasks, or one who's talking excessively. A child who's considered like bouncing off the walls or has difficulty calming their bodies or maintaining a safe body when it's really necessary to. A child who's highly reactive, or a child who's having difficulty socially, either because they're moving too quickly, they're missing the social cues of others, or is really reactive to their peers and can act impulsively, like hitting another child if that other child snatches a toy away from them. So as we've been alluding to, early childhood is a critical period of development and a time when children's brains are growing rapidly and are thus most malleable and most able to change. So we know that 90% of the brain is developed by age 5, although it doesn't stop developing then, but this provides a critical period of intervention where we can build new neural pathways before these patterns of behavior become more entrenched. So here you see a graphic that I love, which shows the attenuation of the disorder, as Dr. Martin referenced earlier. So with no intervention, there will be some individuals who no longer meet criteria for ADHD as they age, but then we see the impact of small changes in the preschool year and its effect as individuals move throughout their development. And then we see the dramatic compounding and long-term effects of a more robust early intervention program.